Hi Divaan, it is Neo here. I've watched a little bit of your VOD, and I think I can help a bit. Something I like to do initially with Mercy players is there's a few things I like to do, but I like to go over controls because I highly suggest these controls. Obviously, you don't have to do them, but I do suggest having toggle beam connection on, because it makes it easier to make sure that your beam uptime is there and you don't have to keep holding the button. You can just click it once and release it. I have Guardian Angel target priority to prefer facing target, and I have toggle Guardian Angel off, which is a setting I initially had on in Overwatch 1, but after watching some Mercy guides, specifically by Skiacy, I decided to turn this off, and I highly suggest this now. And I also suggest you have crouch bound to a second key, so that way you don't have to deal with having shift and control next to each other too much and have to go up. I suggest having it bound to an additional key. You are a PC player. Yep. So if you have a mouse that has some extra side keys, I have it bound to mouse button 4, but if you don't, then you could do like down scroll or up scroll or something like that. So that way you don't have to like finagle your fingers to do that. Okay. Let's go. This is fine. So Mercy, I focus a lot on team composition because we are a little bit more of a team dependent hero. So I like to look at our comp and I like to pick a hero and I kind of determine which hero would be best for what I like to call default mode. And that is who is the best hero on our team for me to be damage boosting at all times. So if I'm looking at this comp, it's kind of a mix of either of these two people. If we're at a little bit of a longer range, I would damage boost Genji. If we're at a closer range, I would damage boost either the Reaper or the Junker Queen, but I would still try and damage boost the Reaper a little bit more. I also wouldn't be against damage boosting the Ana or the Genji at a longer range. It just depends on if you feel like your Ana is going to do damage shots. And considering it's silver, I don't think they really will, so I'd focus more on damage boosting the Genji for long range and the Reaper or the Junker Queen for short range. There's some things you could look out for, like if your Junker Queen is throwing her axe ability, you could definitely make sure you damage boost her there. That already does a ton of damage and the damage boost will help it. But if you're damage boosting Reaper, he also gets more healing from the fact that you're damage boosting him because he's doing more damage. So what's unfortunate is the enemy has a Pharah and you guys do not have a hit scan, but if one of your teammates does switch to, let's say, Soldier or Cassidy or Ashe, they obviously become the default person to damage boost. So the only reason we should ever not be damage boosting one of our DPS, and it could be really either in this scenario, I'd prefer the Genji at this range, is it has to be medically necessary for you to leave them, okay? So I'm not talking about people being down like 20 health. I want people to be half. And that's when we're really gonna start healing. Oops. So I like this. I just wanted to keep damage boosting the Genji. Just hard pocket the Genji until we get to a better range for a Reaper, and then I switch to him. This is fine. I think we probably could have been a little bit aware that our Ana needed help. And we can try and... Oh my god, I'm hitting B instead of N. So right here, we can try and use our ability to float right here a little bit. We hear the enemy Pharah, and if we stay right here, we know the Genji might engage in a fight right here. We can connect our beam to the Reaper or the Ana, just kind of floating right here. And it's going to be harder for the Pharah to hit us because she can't splash against the ground. And yeah, hopefully the Genji turns around here, and I think we would have been a little bit more... we were to help our Ana. I don't know if necessarily we would have been able to save her if we were in this position. But since we're against a Pharah, we really want to try and avoid being on the ground. Even if it's small things, like just playing in this area. So I would even think about like going here and then boosting up so we could be in this direction. Fine, I was thinking about the res, but I still want us healing the Genji if possible. I would fly to the Ana and heal the Genji bit. So Res puts in us a very rough position, especially if we're resing the other healer, where the team will not get healing for the entire duration of the res. So you want to make sure that people aren't going to die while you're resing, and I feel like our Genji was in danger here. Yeah, don't... Do we have the cooldown? We just got it. I would just hold shift and I would have should try and get to the Genji a little bit sooner. It's a good attempt. I don't think we really could have helped our Junker Queen. It's very possible we could have, and now I want us getting out. Don't be afraid to damage boost Reaper here, so that way if somebody chooses to push him, it's bad. I like this generally. It's a bit scary. Don't be afraid to fly to Reaper and then ult the way to the rest of your team. Yeah. We're kind of lucky there. So our team still hasn't swapped to a hit scan, and this far is a problem. Help a Reaper, nice. And again, I want to damage boosting Genji now. This is fine. We're at close range. Damage boosting Reaper is good. It's unfortunate he's missing his shots. I kind of want to sticking with the Reaper a little bit. So that way that maybe means like playing... This is dangerous. He is a little bit too deep. But I would have stayed until I would have tried to help him to here, and then if he when I noticed he's this deep, I would bail. If I could. Yeah, careful peeking against this Pharah, especially. We want to heal. So, Mercy's passive ability, we get healing when we heal people. So I like that we're damage boosting here, but since we are half health, I want us healing this Orisa. Make sure we get that on her, so we get the healing too. I also want us playing either in this airspace or right above us right now, just to make sure that it's going to be harder for the Pharah to get splash damage on us. It's fine. We can use our souls of our teammates to try and get away. So I'd consider here. We could shift to this Orisa, and then we can look up and go up this way, or we can hit our crouch key and we'll go up and we can try and fly that way. So our goal is kind of to make almost like a V shape. And it's gonna be harder for to hit in that way. Yes, like this, but I would have done it with the Orisa's body. So our team really needs to regroup. We've been staggered. Our Reaper engaged by himself, and that's what lost our fight here. It's unfortunate here. Again, I watched this, so I know our Genji engages here when he shouldn't have. I like what you did, honestly. We could have maybe tried to peek to keep the beam on him, but our Genji shouldn't be engaging. He should be regrouping here. So it's just unfortunate. He ended up staggering himself. I like what you're doing here. This is fine. I want us trying to look behind us and see where our team is. Yep. This is good. Even now that we've switched to Junkrat instead of Reaper, our default mode is still mostly the Genji, especially since he's close to Blade. But this is a really like when we were damage boosting the Reaper and he was in very, very good Reaper range, he still didn't get much value done. I was looking for a Valk here pretty soon. Ooh, this is scary. I like this. So I want us waiting for this visor a little bit to run it. It doesn't have to completely run out, and then I want us to Valk. So I'd Valk, oops. I'd Valk right here, actually. Now this visor is mostly over, if it is over, actually. But I'd feel free to Valk right here, even though it's still going, because it'll double our beam length, and it increases our healing, and our beam will start to go between these two targets. So even if we only manage to keep our beam on the Genji in this scenario, we Valk, and we get the beam on the Genji, and then it'll heal up our team a lot. And Valk gives us passive healing immediately, and it gives us very, very strong mobility. So I wouldn't be afraid of Valk here, even now, still. Yeah. So even if we Valked, we can maybe get this res, and we can use our movement to make it harder for them to do that. But I think the Valking and getting this res is less important as Valking and healing our team in this scenario. I really want to applaud you for... I think you didn't die, or you only died once or something like that. I'm pretty sure you didn't die. I think that it's kind of unfortunate that our team wasn't running a hit scan against that Pharah. She was really dominating the game, and our team was staggered quite a bit. So there's a few things we can you can spam group up and stuff, and it's kind of rough because we don't want to encourage our teammates to go in staggeredly. So like our Reaper went in that one time way too deep when he didn't need to, and then after we rezzed our Genji, he immediately went in. So it's kind of a mix of maybe it's better if we don't show that we're helping them. But I don't think that's necessarily it. It's just that's kind of the troubles of playing Mercy in lower elo. I still think it's like very, very doable and very climbable, but it's just it's a little rough. So now our comp is completely changed. Our DPS, our Bastion and Cass. Generally, I want us with the Cass, but if you see the Bastion pop his wheels cooldown, and he transforms into his turret mode, I damage boost the Bastion. If you feel like he's getting good shots, damage boost the Bastion. Our team really needed to swap to hit scan as soon as we lost that first fight. Like this. I want you to just keep damage boosting him. Even when he has this, don't start healing him until you see this orange health go down. If he loses this orange health, then I want you to start healing him. But until then, just keep damage boosting him. Don't be afraid to let your other healer have like this extra, like, yeah, damage boost as well. Don't be afraid to let your other healer have, like, if somebody's down 20, even 30 health, we don't necessarily need to be the one to do that. We can just keep damage boosting. Our greatest value that we provide to the team is damage boosting someone, and preferably someone who's hitting the shots. So I don't mind this switching between healing and damage, but I want us like switch a little bit. I was gonna say switch a little bit faster, like right here. We want to make sure we're maximizing the amount of time we have on damage boost. And there's like a little like almost linger time, so don't be afraid when somebody is like this far off to just switch to damage, because they might still get healed up anyway. This is good. I love this. I'd switch to damage boost cast. Yep. Damage boost Bastion. Yep, helping cast. Beautiful. I like where we're playing. I kind of wish we stayed up there. I like this. I like this place a lot. Just try and stay up here if you can. I understand we had to drop for the cast, but after this, we can use our tech of like going up to him and then hitting our crouch button to go up to just stand here again. And then we can play here, which is like a very safe spot, and it kind of gives us some high ground control. And then hopefully our Bastion will, or our cast will also play up here, and then we can stay back here to where the enemy can't see us. We can damage boost our cast, and we can get a lot of value through there. I love this position. We also want to try and make sure that the enemy can't see us, so on the off chance that somebody does get back, we can try and play around this area, or we can try and be over here. Honestly, the enemy does not need to see us. We can be like, I don't want to tell you to stand still, but you can almost stand still. If you have the beam on somebody, just make sure you have level S on them and try not to peek the enemy. I know it's a little boring, but so is walking back from spawn. This, I like that. I would just stay there. Even damage boosting Orisa fine. I like damage boosting Bastion here. Beautiful. I love that he's down a little bit of health and you are healing him. Even here. Yeah, like I said, I don't want us leaving our default target until medically necessary. I would look at our casts. I don't know, I'd be just kind of aware that I heard Forest shots head up in this direction, and I'm pretty sure our cast is over here, so just make sure we just look at him occasionally. Because it might be better to help him at times. I love this positioning right now. I wish it was on the high ground. This is still fine. Both is fine. We hear the Pharah. Nice. I still think damage boosting the cast here might be better if we know that he's also there. But if we don't know, that's fine. Yes, yeah, it's fine. We didn't have enough reaction to really see him. But I want us to go back to the cast in all honesty and damage boost him. I honestly wouldn't even be afraid if we felt like they were gonna pop. If they were gonna come in. I wouldn't hate this. I'm not 100% sure instinct would make me do this or not, but I want this res. I wouldn't be afraid to pop Valk and just res this. We ultimately want to try, if we do pop Valk, I want us to play like right here as we're resing, and then we can try and use this pole and this wall as LOS, so the enemy can't hit us and get this res. And honestly, maybe we could just fly in, because we see immediately here our Bastion pops his wheels cooldown right here. This is going to create a lot of space for us to get this res too. They have a choice of, oh, if they want to kill me, they also have to deal with this Bastion. So, and our Orisa is also here to tank some damage for us. So I would just go for this res, even without Valk. Nice. So a lot of the times, it's kind of crazy. We need to make this decision a little bit faster, because if we make it fast, the enemy team also doesn't have the opportunity to try and capitalize on it. They're also down a player right now. It's fine. I like damage boosting cast. I like damage boosting the soul. Nice. Okay, now when the enemy team, since we have Velk, when the enemy team chooses to engage us, and I think it means when the enemy team pushes past where your Orisa is right now, I'd pop Velk. We don't need it now. But if the enemy team ever gets past it, yeah. Since we got 2 picks, we didn't necessarily need it. We didn't need this nano either, but we can't control that. So, one thing I've kind of said about Valkyrie, and you kind of have to twist your way of thinking about this, because on other maps there's obviously attack rounds and defense rounds, but there's like micro attacks and defense within it. Like if you are quote-unquote defending a payload, but the enemy team has been winning, you actually need to go and attack the payload even though you're quote-unquote on defense. So what I've been trying to phrase this with, yeah, we're just super winning this fight right now, so it doesn't really, what we're doing matters a little bit less. But the way I've been trying to phrase it with Valkyrie and telling my Mercy players about Valkyrie is that if we are, if we have control of the point, then I like us to Valk defensively. If we are trying to get control of the point, I want us Valking offensively. So that means that if we need to get point, I want us, and we're in a neutral fight, we can use Valkyrie to damage boost our team and take the fight from neutral to positive. If we already have the point, the enemy team has to use their abilities to come into us, which means that if you see big cooldowns being used, we could maybe pop Valkyrie to counter that. So if you see like a Lucio speed boost or a Queen shout, and you know they're going to push in with that, we could maybe Valk. There's like kind of a point where I'm like, oh, I need to see them hit a point of no return where they are engaging in this fight no matter what for me to pop this, for me to pop my ult. Or if my teammates hit like 2/3 health, and a lot of them hit 2/3 health, I'll consider ulting as well. But I really want to see the enemy in the fight at a point of no return, and then I'll pop my ult. So in this scenario where we already have control of the point, I want us to do it a little bit more defensively, which means I want the enemy to come into us and hit a point of they have to engage into this fight. That's why I said like, oh, when if the tank passes where our Orisa is right now, that is like, it's going to be too hard for them to turn around before they die. Ultimately, you win this fight, so it's kind of like a moot point, but just a good thing to kind of note. Could we have done anything? It's fine. I'd help cast first if we can, to our left. So the reason I say help cast first is because right now, even though both of these people are critical, we can see our cast to our left. Our cast has 60 health. Oh my gosh, I hit a button. Okay, our cast has 60 health. And our Orisa has 126. Or 100, wow, 162. Rip. So because our cast has a little bit less health and he's like actively in a fight, I'd try and help him here. And then we could use that position to help our Orisa. Unfortunately, we're against a high charge Zarya, so this is just rough. But nice. I really like a lot of the stuff we did here. And it helps that our team swapped to somebody who could kill with Pharah. That's really why you guys lost the first round. Our team wasn't as staggered. Stuff like that. It's very, very nice when we win the first fight. And these maps, Koth maps on lower elo, I literally just said this in another video like a second ago. It's hard because staggering is how Koth maps are won. If the enemy team is staggered the entire time, you just win this map. Damage with Bastion, beautiful. Don't worry about the cast. Just damage. Stay with Bastion. Heal him. Nice. Damage with him again. Yep. Like I said, you can switch to when you see him like 1 tick away, maybe even like 1.5 tick away, just switch back to damage boost. Like I like this. I don't mind this either. I'd switch between both of them. Nice. Go back to damage boost. Yep, yep, yep. Very nice. I'd go up. We have all this look at how much we get of like our GA charge, and then after this I just want us to go up instead. Just fully go to him because I think you actually cancel it. Yeah, you cancel it to carry the momentum. I would just finish it and then go up, so that way we're playing like right here-ish, and we can heal our team from up here and damage boost them from like right here-ish. a lot of support playing is, and we also went a little bit further than we intended with that slingshot. So a lot of support playing is out of sight, out of mind. And with a lot of supports, it's very easy to, like, you can try and just play different angles. You can play further back. You can try and play high ground like your Ana is now. With Mercy, we can just use our super jump to try and put us in positions where they have to be out of position to shoot us. So we could say, this isn't a great example, but we could like try and be right here, where if anybody wants to shoot us, they have to fully peek out this way into our team, or they fully peek out this high ground where they have to, once again, peek our team. But we want to try and be out of sight, out of mind a lot of the time.
I'll make sure that doesn't stop.
This is fine. Damage boost. Beautiful. I love that he wasn't full health when he did that. Beautiful. I love this high ground. I was damage boosting them though. Yep, fine, we're fine. I think even back here, we just stay on high ground. We just kill Orisa and stay on high ground. And we don't even need to GA to her. We can just be up there, hold it down, and then if something gets dicey, we can GA to Ana, and then slingshot all the way back over here. Fine. I love this. I love all this. I would like for us to try and be on this high ground, but I like helping. Yes, the Farah kill is very good. We're losing some uptime there, but that's fine. We can kind of predict that the fight is going to go forward a lot of the time. So if we stayed like right here, we can kind of predict that our Bastion is going to come over here, or our Orisa is going to come back over this way. And that way we don't have to use our movement abilities to try and chase them, because this is losing uptime. You need to try and predict where the fight is about to be. Because I find we're running to our teammates a bit. This is fine. I like all this. I really, really like all this. Oh, this is a little scary. Yeah, if we can, I want us to still try and play here. Or even if so, we could try and even play right here. And then we can connect beam and stop looking, and then we can reconnect it if it disengages and stuff like that. So right up here. I find that we're flying a little bit past where we want to go a lot of the time. Nice, don't worry about him. I like that we stopped worrying about him. Nice. I don't mind that our default mode for a lot of this game has been damage boosting Bastion. It's honestly very, very similar to damage boosting Cast, especially in this elo. I think at a higher elo you'd want to damage boost Cast whenever Bastion is not in his wheels cooldown, and then Bastion when he is, and then try and switch between the two. But at this elo, it's very fine. I very much enjoy what you're doing. I like this as well, even. I like this a lot. So we're gonna get to a point. We have control of the point. I want us to try and Valk defensively here. We just have to be wary of if they have a visor or not, which we can see that they don't, but I wouldn't mind Valking here even. Nice. I would have wanted the Valk a little bit sooner right here, because we can connect the beam and still stay all the way over here. We could even try and damage boost our Cass, who's ulting right now. That could be really big. I actually think that's probably the play, is try and fly all the way to the Orisa and damage boost the Cass, or just fly upwards and damage boost the Cast. Yeah, this is fine. I still want to damage boosting Cast if we can. Ooh, good job not flying into it. I want to damage boosting these people. Yeah, when we see these people on the high ground, our teammates, I want to sing with them. This is very free and very, very good. This is good positioning from our DPS. So I want us kind of, our Ana can mostly heal this Orisa, so I kind of want us to try and get out of the Zarya beam range and play right over here. And then we can damage boost our DPS from this range and just hope that our Ana can keep this Orisa up, which she probably can. Ana outputs a lot of healing. Alright, it sucks that both our DPS dropped, but it's fine. Damage boost a lot more in this ult. I think you're healing because you're worried about your own health, but I'd be less worried about it. You have all this regen, we can just damage boost, damage boost, damage boost. And I want us to go with our Cass. Yeah, I just trust him. I would just trust him. Have we had visual? I see that there's this... Okay, no, we haven't seen her. No, at no point do we see her. Okay. someone pinged her. I'd be very wary. I just pick a person here to damage boost, even if it's Ana. This is a very scary position where everybody is LOSing us right now. We have absolutely no one to fly to, so I just want us to walk to someone and fly. So I'd maybe walk to the Ana and then fly upwards and see if we can get to the Cass. I maybe would have followed the Orisa. I really want us being with the Cass in general here. This is just very scary. It's fine. Oh yeah, Ana's positioning is rough here. Oh yeah, everyone's positioning is rough here now. It's a nice try. It is just rough. I think our best bet here would still have been pocketing the Cass earlier, because that would have put us in a little bit of a stronger positioning, but our whole team kind of had a bad position there. Our Bastion was like, okay. Wasn't great. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Correct. Form up here. My ultimate is ready. And I will feel stronger.
Like this. Stay with Bastion. Yeah, I we're a little worried about our tank too much. Don't worry if we have specifically, I would even say Kiriko's iffy, but generally even still Kiriko. If we have a Moira, an Ana, a Baptiste, or a Kiriko on our team, I wouldn't worry too much about our tank. Maybe even a Life Weaver. Life Weaver less so. Life Weaver you might still have to, because only with the chance that you actually need to help them heal the tank is a little bit lower versus you can just stay with the DPS, because it's much harder for those heroes to heal the DPS than it is for you to do so, and it's much harder for you to keep the tank up than it is for them to do so. So it's kind of like which support has a job of healing the tank, and in your composition the tank healer is really the Ana. I know it's like hard to trust them, especially at this elo, but we'll provide more value damage boosting the Bastion or the Cassidy in this scenario than we will trying to help the Orisa out. Even if we lose the Orisa, if we're like damage boosting the Cass who's like hitting shots, it could still be very, very strong. And then we could like just try and maybe get the res, but it's unlikely. In Overwatch 2, if your tank dies, it's pretty rough. So yeah, don't be afraid to just stick with the DPS. I was thinking, I was gonna say with the Life Weaver and the Kiriko, you might occasionally need to supplement some healing, and even with the Ana, the Baptiste, and the Moira, you might need to supplement some healing. But I wouldn't even bother looking at the tank unless you see critical, or you see them do something really, really dumb. One of the two. Help her Ana, nice. Back to damage using Cass. Help her Ana again. Ana's always prio 1. It's still Ana. Ana. I'd pop Valk and res this. So the reason why I say pop Valk and res this is for a few reasons. One, it gets us there a little bit faster, which is debatable, but it lets us have the wings. It's going to be harder to hit us, and we get our regen up immediately. So we just have like instant healing while we do this, and we don't have to have the other healer heal us. We can just have our own healing. This is nice. Damage boost. Still damage boost. Yeah. Good. Okay. There's a lot of good things going on. I want us, honestly, damage boosting DPS more, and looking at the tank a little bit less. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of good things. So I hope this was helpful, and bye.